You start strong, a new routine, a new goal, a new plan. For a few days, maybe even a week, it feels like you finally figured it out. But then, something happens. You miss one day, then another, and suddenly, you're back where you started, frustrated, guilty, wondering, why can't I stay consistent? Most people think inconsistency means they're lazy or undisciplined, but that's not the truth. Inconsistency isn't a character flaw. It's a systems problem. You don't fail because you're weak. You fail because you're relying on willpower instead of structure. And willpower, as powerful as it feels in the beginning, always runs out. So the real fix for inconsistency starts before the motivation fades. It starts with how you set things up to support you when motivation is gone. Motivation is a great starting point, but a terrible foundation. It's emotional, unstable, easily hijacked by stress, distraction, or doubt. That's why people feel like they're on and off all the time, because they only act when they feel like it. But feelings are unreliable. The moment something harder, louder, or more comfortable comes along, motivation disappears. So the real fix for inconsistency isn't chasing more motivation. It's designing actions that don't depend on it. Simpler routines, lower entry points, tiny wins that bypass resistance. When your habits are too fragile, the smallest inconvenience breaks them. But when they're built to survive a bad day, they last. Consistency isn't about doing more. It's about needing less from yourself to keep going. Most people think success comes from pushing harder, but the real secret? Lower the bar, way lower. Make starting so easy, so frictionless that you can't say no. Not read 30 pages, just open the book. Not work out for an hour, just put on your shoes. Because the brain resists overwhelm, not effort. The moment your routine feels heavy, your mind starts negotiating. I'm too tired, I'll start tomorrow. But if the first step feels light, the resistance fades. That's how momentum begins. Not from giant leaps, but from invisible shifts. Tiny acts that prove to your brain, we're doing this no matter what. Over time, these small starts build trust. You stop seeing yourself as someone who gives up and start becoming someone who follows through, even on the hard days. Consistency isn't about doing something perfectly. It's about proving to yourself that you show up. Every time you follow through, even on a small promise, your brain logs it. I can rely on me. That self-trust is the foundation. It's what turns habits from effort into identity. You're no longer someone trying to be disciplined. You become someone who is. But that doesn't happen overnight. It happens through reps, through micro commitments kept, through showing up when it doesn't matter to anyone else but you. This quiet integrity builds something deeper than motivation, credibility with yourself. And that's what holds you steady when everything else wobbles. Because when you believe you follow through, you stop needing to convince yourself every time. Your brain doesn't care how productive you were. It cares how you felt about it. Every time you finish something, it tags the experience as either satisfying or draining. That's why positive reinforcement matters. You can build consistency faster by rewarding the behavior, not just completing the task. It could be as simple as saying out loud, I did it, or giving yourself 2 minutes of calm before jumping to the next thing. The reward doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be felt. That feeling tells your brain, this action is worth repeating. Without it, even good habits fade because there's no internal payoff. But with it, habits stick. Not because they're easy, but because they become emotionally satisfying. That's how you shift from discipline to desire. Rigid routines break under pressure. One small disruption, a bad night's sleep, a late meeting, a wave of anxiety, and the whole thing collapses. That's because too many people confuse consistency with perfection. They think if they can't do it all, they shouldn't do it at all. But real consistency is flexible. It adapts. It bends so it doesn't snap. On days when you have less energy, you scale back, not bail out. You shift from running to walking, from deep work to maintenance mode, because the habit isn't the exact action, it's the act of showing up in some form, no matter what. That's what builds resilience, not rigid expectations, but a mindset that says, I adjust, I don't quit. Flexibility isn't weakness, it's strategy. Sometimes it's not just forgetfulness or laziness, it's fear. Deep down, a part of you might believe that consistency will expose you, that if you show up fully, there's no excuse left, no buffer between effort and outcome. So staying inconsistent becomes a shield, a way to protect yourself from failure or success, because consistency invites responsibility, and that can feel overwhelming. What if I give it my all and still fall short? What if I change and people don't like the new me? These thoughts don't shout, they whisper, quiet doubts that hijack your drive. The fix isn't just building better habits, it's healing the identity underneath. Shifting from, I'm the kind of person who never sticks to anything, to, I'm learning to trust myself more every day. That internal shift is where lasting consistency begins. Consistency doesn't require a perfect plan. It doesn't demand hustle. It asks for something quieter: honesty, the courage to admit what's not working, the patience to build what actually fits your life, and the humility to start small, even when your ego wants big results fast. In the end, the real fix for inconsistency isn't found in productivity hacks or bulletproof routines. It's found in your relationship with yourself. Do you trust your own word? Do you forgive your own setbacks? Do you keep showing up when no one's watching? That's the work. It's not sexy, but it's powerful. Because when you become someone who shows up, no matter what, everything else begins to shift. So here's the question: what would your life look like if you stopped breaking promises to yourself?